Hi friends, this is Alejandra. Welcome to another Bite-Sized Book Chats, and today we are going to be talking about this month's Opie's Reading Road Trip theme, which is historical fiction. So I have 4 books to share with you. I really hope you enjoy them. They are very interesting and they're all really different. So one of the first ones that I'm going to talk about is Finding Langston by Lessa Klein Ransom. So this book is about a boy that moves from Alabama to Chicago in the 1940s, so he feels a huge difference. It's after his mom dies. He's dealing with the grief of losing his mom and kind of readjusting to life with his father and to life outside of his home. And then he ends up finding solace in a library and in poetry. And the thing about this book is that it is very short, but it says so much. 1940s, things are still fairly segregated, and he's kind of dealing with relearning the rules of society that he's lived with because he's moving from the South to the Midwest. So I think this is a great read if you are at all interested in that time period. Again, it's also very short, so I think that might be appealing to some people who might be a little hesitant to try and read historical fiction, so this is a great book to check out. The next book that we're going to be talking about is Allies by Alan Gratz. So this book is about World War II. Specifically, it covers D-Day. And the way that he's done it is there are 4 main characters, and they each have their own point of view. So we have a U.S. soldier, we have a girl who is working as a spy, we have a medic, and we have a paratrooper. So it's one day told through their 4 points of view, so you kind of get a full spectrum view of what might be going on behind the scenes instead of looking at only action during one part of the day or in one place. And again, it's also fairly short, and it's very different because a lot of times World War II books or historical fiction books covering World War II will cover a large chunk of it. This book, like I said, is only one day. So if you think about it, 4 people, one day, is pretty impressive. So this is a great book to read, again, if you are maybe interested but don't really want to spend a ton of time reading about the entire war or something like that. And again, the whole thing with 4 different points of view is, to me, really special and really unique to his style of writing. So I really enjoyed this. The next book we have is a historical fiction that's also a romance, or mainly a romance. It's Alex and Eliza. If you have watched Hamilton, then you are probably familiar with them. And I picked this to show you that historical fiction doesn't have to be something that is purely based in like military history or some enormous event or anything like that. It can be just a historical romance that takes place during the American Revolution and with people that we, thanks to Hamilton, really know and like now. So I think this is a great book to read, especially if you're familiar with the musical, like I said. Then this might just be the extra kind of cherry on top of the cake if you love that fandom, basically. I think you might really enjoy this one. This is by Melissa de la Cruz, and she has some other really great books, and this is the first of a series, I believe. So if you enjoy this one, there's more where that came from. And the last book is The Librarian of Auschwitz by Antonio Iturbe. So this was actually written in a different language before, I believe, and it is translated into English. But if you have heard of The Book Thief, then this is actually pretty similar. It's a girl in, it's a Auschwitz prisoner who basically risks her life to make sure that she and the other people around her have access to books and access to things as important as reading and finding ways to communicate. So if you have read The Book Thief and liked it, then I think you would really like this one. It can be a difficult read because, again, she is an actual prisoner, so just keep that in mind, but it is a really interesting book, and it's a really interesting story to read, I think, and also just really important if you value libraries or if you want to focus on one aspect of World War II. This is a great one to read. Thank you so much for joining us. Unfortunately, this is actually going to be my last bite-sized book chat video, but next month we are going to come with a completely different person, and they're going to come with some awesome stories for you guys to read. So we really hope you enjoy that. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time. Bye.